Hey everybody, this is Jesse P. Gilmore, agency transformation coach and founder of Niche in Control, creator of Leverage for Growth.
And I'm Lucas James, founder of Twiz.io, which scaled from $0 to $200,000 a month with my own agency.
We are the hosts of Leverage for Growth podcast agency leverage episodes. We know that in order to scale your agency successfully, there are multiple shifts that need to happen within the founder's mindsets, skill sets, and leadership styles. We are on a mission to interview marketing and PR agency owners on their journey to 6, 7, and 8 figures and leverage the lessons from their journey to save you time, energy, and money in order for you to get your agency to the next level. If you find value in these episodes, watch the case study video to learn more about Leverage for Growth and how we successfully scale agencies quickly at nicheincontrol.com/case study. That's nicheincontrol.com/case study. You are now listening to Leverage for Growth. Hey everybody, this is Jesse P. Gilmore, founder of Niche in Control and creator of Leverage for Growth. Welcome to the Agency Leverage Edition. Today I am here with Richard Blount, the owner of 4 Winds Agency, a full-service digital marketing agency on a mission to strengthen and increase our clients' online success through innovative designs and robust marketing strategies. Thanks for coming to our show today, Richard.
Hi, Jesse. Great to be here.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about the history and background of your agency?
Yeah, sure. I was a graphic designer since the 80s, early 90s, started getting into web development in the mid 90s and worked for a few different agencies along the way. And I think 2007 started hitting it hard as far as doing freelance work on the side. You know, I'm a pretty open person, so I would let people, everybody I worked with, knew what I was up to and asked if I was going to start my own agency at some point. And I'm like, no, I had no desire to. I just have a passion for what I'm doing and I cannot stop. And it wasn't until I was on a mission trip to India in 2015 when I got some news to say that, there might be a shift in what's going on where I was working. And I felt God put the call in my heart to actually start an agency, and everything kind of came together during that trip in about a 3-day period, from the idea to the name to the vision and a culmination of it all. And after I came back, I just hit the ground running and haven't looked back.
That's awesome. It's crazy how when things have maybe been pieces before, they all come together all when it's kind of like it's the time.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I did not expect it, but when I look back over my life and the different things that I had done, that it was all building up to this, and I had no idea. It's just if you follow what what your desires are to one degree or another. And then, because I remember when I was working like crazy, full-time job and doing stuff for clients on the side, I'm like, I wasn't married at the time. And I'm like, why am I working so hard? But I just felt like this was something serious and that I just needed to keep pushing forward.
And there's been quite a few different transitions. So you talked about the full-time job and then having it on the side, and then making the switch towards going from freelancing to agency work. And those transitions a lot of times are either challenging or something that people avoid. So what are some of the things that you learned in that transition phase, going from the freelancer to more of an agency or growing a team as opposed to independent contractor, or whatever resonates you? Yeah,
because I mean, up until that point, I was the guy getting the work done, and now all of a sudden, I had to be, the COO, the CFO. I mean, I had the budgeting, just all the different hats. And there was a book that I had read called The E-Myth Revisited, which was fantastic. And it just really helped me understand that there are times where you have to change the hat that you're wearing. Sometimes you have to be the entrepreneurial and say, yeah, let's do this and go for it. And then other times you're the technician that goes, wait, how do you get this done? And how to manage when you're wearing which hat. and then the manager, as far as, making sure bills are being paid, money's coming in, writing up little SOPs for yourself, because you'll end up doing something for one client and you're like, oh wait, I'm going to want to remember this later on, so that I don't have to relearn it again 6 months or 2 years later.
Mm-hmm. Which is actually one of the biggest things. A lot of people get stuck in kind of reinventing the wheel with every client, where in actuality, you're like, I've done this before, What I guess for anybody that's kind of listening, if you were to kind of go back to maybe a previous version of yourself, maybe somebody that's maybe 1 or 2 steps behind where you are, and you've already kind of laid some kind of groundwork with there, what would be some of the things that you'd give advice that might save either time, energy, or money if you would have known it back then?
Yeah, I would say I wish I was better organized. I would have set up, offline areas to store things, and just a filing system for one thing. All these little things, and as a more creative person that really admires productivity and tries to go for that part of being organized and just setting up your folders, as far as, all right, let's keep them all consistent. Now let's not have one naming convention for at one point, and then, oh, let's change it to this one for this client. And because I'm constantly trying to come up with better ways of doing something, that I just would have just created something, stuck to it, and waited until there was more of a reason to try to go, okay, now I see, let's add these files or change it to this naming convention. Go ahead and spend the extra, $50 a year for this particular thing that will save you, 5 or 10 hours a month, kind of stuff. So there's a lot of things where I thought I was trying to save a few dollars, and I wish I would have just gone ahead and spent it, and just to be better organized, because the more organized I am, the more productive I end up being.
Mm-hmm. And have you found as a creative that maybe the people that you hire kind of are maybe the more organized ones, so that way you're able to find a balance as your team has grown? Have you found that as well?
I do find that from time to time. If I find somebody who is doing something, I'll kind of adapt that. And but I think what I find more than anything is people that I'm trying to bring on board are looking for me to already have that set up in place. And so bringing somebody on board goes a lot faster if I'm able to hand off, all right, look, this is how this is done. This is where we store these, and just having an SOP, standard operating procedure already kind of in place. Mm-hmm. That is huge. And so, that's part of what I'm talking about. If I could go back, those are the things I would set up so that it is a lot easier, and it helps build consistency within the people that you bring on for different projects and different specialities.
I love it. So what's kind of like success for you? What are you excited about? What are you working on? And maybe what's success over the next 1 to 3 years?
Yeah, success. That's a tricky one, because I used to define it as being so busy I couldn't, see beyond next month. And but now that things are moving fluidly, and I don't have that anxiety anymore. I think that is the success that I'm really starting to enjoy and trying to hone in on, is just to relax in the process and don't feel like I've got to get everything done yesterday. Although just about every client I talk to, and any client that most people will talk to, you'll ask them when they need something, they will say yesterday or tomorrow. And so that helps build the anxiety. And so for me, success is going, I hear where you're coming from. Typically it takes, 6 weeks to get this, 2 months to see the result, and just relax in your process and realizing that success is knowing that I can hit my goals for my clients. And so I take a lot of confidence and reassurance in that, regardless of how panicked and how much anxiety they have, because they don't understand a lot of times the field that they're in, and there are things that they're asking. So to me, success is just realizing and relaxing into the confidence in the track record that I've been able to provide for my clients.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? I hope that.
Yeah. Some of the other guests have talked about like a life by design and a business by design, and making it to where the business works for you as opposed to you working for the business. And so I think that was part of what you're talking about is either setting expectations for the clients, but then also being okay with, the business is going to operate at this pace, this level, and we know how to get results. We're not going to try to quicken up the process. Am I hearing it correctly?
Yeah. Because I mean, at one point I thought it meant, hitting this kind of this amount of money at the end of this year, or having this many projects or whatever, and that I measured success by those as opposed to the process. And I feel like success is having a process that runs smoothly, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Awesome. So for anybody that's listening, what's the best way for people to either get in touch with you, or do you have any offers for them that they could take advantage of?
I would our website is our main area where a lot of people get in touch with us, and that's fourwindsagency.us. That's FOURWINDS agency.us. And then actually we do offer a free SEO audit. So if you go to our website, bottom right-hand corner, there's a little tool there that we can do an audit on your website, just kind of see how it's doing, what improvements it may or may not need. And yeah.
Cool. Excellent. And for anybody that's listening, I'll put Four Winds Agency's website in the show notes. And I just want to thank you very much for being on the show.
Thanks, Jesse. I enjoyed it. Great talking to you.
Agency owners, if you want to transform your agency to sustain and grow without your direct involvement, where you can stop working in the business and switch to working on the business, where you can regain control of your time, delegate effectively, get paid what you're worth, and have your team run the day-to-day, go to nicheincontrol.com/case study right now to learn more about Leverage for Growth. You can book a free strategy session with us to look at your systems, understand what needs to be done in order for you to scale, and get a free strategic plan for the next year to live the life of entrepreneurship that you've always dreamed about. Go to nicheincontrol.com/case study. That is nicheincontrol.com/case study now.